Hey guys. Hey, welcome to another episode, Thursday's edition of Making Hay with JRA. I am Lee Godbold with the Junk Removal Authority. We bring you a weekly show on YouTube, Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time, where we cover all kinds of topics relevant to getting in the junk removal business, building up your junk removal business, expanding it, maybe selling it, anything relevant to growing your junk removal company we cover on this episode. We've got Aaron behind the scenes here running the show. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, please post it in on Facebook or YouTube and we will address it throughout today's episode. If you guys are not a subscriber to JRA, please subscribe by hitting the subscribe button on YouTube, or make sure you follow us on Junk Removal Authority's Facebook page as well. So, before we roll into today's topic, I want to talk about pay-per-click management through JRA. Nobody out there is going to do a better job with your junk removal company. If you guys are interested in doing Google Ads, if you've done it before or if you've never done it, if you've been doing it, let us take a review of your campaign. We'll let you know exactly the areas of savings that we can find for you and the areas where we can actually help increase the number of conversions and jobs that you get. That's the JRA pay-per-click management, and you can call us at 919-617-1975 for more information on that. Today, what I want to talk about is why you should not be thinking of your business as a job. And this is a topic that applies to probably 85%, maybe 90% of service business owners out there. They look at the business they own as just another job, basically. Now, most people believe they're in control. They're running the show. You know, they got a little extra freedom because they're not having to answer to anybody. They're making the money for themselves. Some of that might be false belief, but a lot of them view it as another job. They don't view it as what you should view it as, which is an investment. So when we go in, you know, I look at our junk removal company, Junk Doctors, and I look at JRA. Even though I'm heavily involved in JRA, not so much in Junk Doctors. Junk Doctors I'm very passive in. I look at both of them as very much an investment. So it's not just what am I making in the short term. It's not just the amount of money I'm making in the short term. It's okay, where is this thing going? You know, is it showing momentum? Is it showing promise? And if it is, what do I need to do to help build up that investment, that company? It's not a job for me, it's an investment. So, with investments, you can do or in business, you can invest either time or money or probably both. It's going to be an investment of both time and money into this company to make it successful. If you're one of those individuals that have money going into it, you've been successful in business or with a corporate job or anything else beforehand, and you're just now getting into business, then you're actually able to substitute money to help speed the process up, to help remove some time. And you do that through something like the JRA business package, where you actually get educated beforehand. You're not having to learn a lot of this stuff on your own. And then obviously advertising. The more people you get, your primary objective needs to be to get as many people as possible as a customer, because those people are going to use you again and again. Investments need to be made with the long term in mind. Very few people, there's very few successful people that go out there and are successful in basically speculating on short-term investments. There are people that do it right, but you don't want to look at your business as anything short-term. It needs to be, what's it going to make me 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Whether it's in a consistent income that comes in off of it after it builds up to a good size, or if we ultimately turn around and we sell it. And that's what you need to be building up to. A person who considers it their job treats it like an employee would treat their job. For the most part, most employees treat their job as everything is short-term related. What am I going to get out of it right now? Not necessarily what am I going to get out of it in the future. That's not all employees, but the vast majority of employees think about what can I get out of it at this very moment. You, as a business owner, do not want to fall into that trap. So, worrying about short-term profitability is going to affect the results of your long-term investment, your business. So, for example, if you lose money on a job, which all of us at some point in time are going to lose money on a job, instead of worrying about it, instead of fretting over it, instead of getting stressed over about it, instead of blowing up and figuring out and just completely losing your temper about it, what your main question needs to be is, how am I going to prevent this from happening in the future? So a lot of people, they just absolutely lose their mind because something went wrong, wasn't done 100% correct, and that money's been lost. They've lost that money. Now they need to salvage the situation. Number one, they want to make sure that customer's happy one way or the other. That customer remains happy because you want them reusing you and leaving a review online. And number two, and the most important thing is you need to figure out, all right, how are we going to keep this from happening in the future, or at least lessen the likelihood of it occurring? For example, somebody that books a job, whoever you got booking your jobs, if they misquote a job and it's a little bit lower, or if something pops up where something was said in a conversation. For example, somebody says they have a sofa that needs to be removed and the price is quoted at $140. And then it turns out it's a sleeper. It's either a sleeper sofa or like a large sectional, and that customer's irate because they said they had a sofa. And now you're trying to tell them a sectional is $220 when they were quoted $140 over the phone. So what you would learn from in that situation is to make sure your call center rep or the individual booking calls, or a good chance it might be you, anytime somebody says a sofa, you get more information. Is it a sleeper sofa? Is it on the third floor? Is it a sectional sofa? And then if you have to quote a price over the phone, you basically make a specification, or you're very specific in saying that, okay, so we'll do this job for $140 as long as all we have is a 3-seat sofa and it's on the first floor. If it's on the third floor, or if you add more, the price is going to go up. So that's just an example of how you can learn from mistakes. Damaging a customer's home. That damage has been done. Now, how do you take that bad situation of damaging that customer's home and turn it into a positive situation, which is creating a raving fan out of that customer? A very little known fact is the fact that if you have a problem, or if a customer has a problem with your company, if you've done something wrong, or they perceive that you've done something wrong, you actually have a much better chance of converting that customer into a raving fan than just a regular customer that you did a great job for. So it's so uncommon for something to happen and a problem to occur when a customer deals with a business, and the business to go above and beyond in making it right. So as soon as they contact, and assure that customer that this problem is going to be resolved. You might want to give a discount to them right then and there. Maybe you don't charge them until the repair's been complete. Go ahead and get the repair in motion. Make sure the person you're hiring to do that repair, if it's a floor damage or wall damage or whatever, they have good reviews and they're going to do a very good job for the customer. Get that individual out there as quickly as possible. Get it taken care of. Get it fixed. You cover the bill of that repair. And then maybe you send them a gift card or something to their favorite restaurant, or I'd certainly send them a coupon for future service. Maybe $100 off, something pretty large. That way they come back and they use you again. You got a great opportunity to create a raving fan out of that customer that would otherwise been disappointed, would otherwise been posting a negative review. Instead, they go online, they go on their social media, and they talk about the extremely positive experience they had, even though a mistake was made. How this company was so trustworthy because they really followed up and they fixed the problem. And guys, advertising, are you sitting here wondering about your advertising? It's costing a lot of money in the short term. You're making Google rich instead of making yourself rich. If you're paying Google or Facebook or HomeAdvisor or whatever, you're thinking about this short term. Junk removal business, to get into, is a relatively low income investment compared to other types of businesses up front. But the cost of customer acquisition can be it's medium. It's not high. There's companies out there that spend $500 or $1,000 to get one customer. Their average sale is going to be higher. But junk removals, it's probably a medium customer acquisition cost in terms of in the service industry. But the nice thing is people do come back and use you again. They refer you, and they post that review online. So you got to look at what's the lifetime value of that customer. So generally, the lifetime value of a junk removal customer, we figure over a 10-year span, they might use you about 5 times. And some are going to use you once. Some are going to use you 10, 20, 150 or 200. over that 10-year span. So we try to give a conservative estimate. We basically say every customer you get on average is going to be about a $2,000 value to you just from themselves. That does not include referrals, repeat business, so on and so forth. At that point, that customer is probably worth $2,500 or $3,000 if you're adding that in. If you do a great job, you only pay for it to get them once, and then the next time around, they search for you directly or they call you directly, and you don't have to pay for that customer again on acquisition. Got any questions? Any questions at all, guys, just post them on YouTube or Facebook. We will address them. Can be about any topic whatsoever. So, discouragement is very prevalent with small business owners, and oftentimes it drives people out of business. And very often you can trace that discouragement to a lack of short-term results, short-sightedness. They're wanting instant gratification, instant profits, instant money. They know where they want to get. They know what amount of money they want to make and what they're looking out of their business, but they expect it to happen in a matter of months or a year or weeks or even 2 years, guys. In all likelihood, a successful service business that's really providing you a great income, providing you with freedom where you're not really chained to it, it's probably a 5-year process. 3 years minimum, but it's probably more like a 5-year process of dedicated, focused attention. And to really gain true levels of wealth, it's probably 10 years, maybe more. So we're in a society right now that is very much about instant gratification. I can get on this internet right now, go to Amazon.com. I'm an Amazon Prime member, and there's stuff I can order that's going to be delivered to me this afternoon. It's instant gratification. Throughout the history of our society, it's always been about how can we make things quicker, which is great, but I think one of the things that's occurred is everybody's so used to getting things done immediately that they're beginning to lose a little bit of patience. And there's some things in life that require patience, and building up a great business is one of them. This is not get rich quick. There are maybe get rich quick schemes out there that work maybe a 0.5% or less, 1/10 of a percentage point. But most real bona fide businesses are going to take time. It's going to take dedicated effort, and it's going to take a lot of consistency in your emotion to really build something up. So your instant gratification, your Amazon Prime, you're texting, expecting an immediate response. You're needing an answer. You got a question, and you can go right on your phone. You can book like a junk removal appointment. You go online to junkdrs.com if you're in the Raleigh area, Charlotte area, Greensboro area. You can book a junk removal job immediately. You don't have to talk to anybody. It's extremely quick. But building your business is not going to be that way. You're not going to receive instant gratification from this. And it's not going to be, you're not going to know everything all at once. You need to constantly be learning. So, I mean, even with Junk Doctors and JRA, we've got a junk removal company that's going to do close to $3 million this year, just shy. We'll come in somewhere between 2.75 and 3. And that right there, we are still doing stuff now that is our revenues are up 30% from last year. And for an established business that has not gone into a new market, that's pretty significant. So, and a lot of what is occurring there is we're innovating. We're trying new advertising methods, and as we perfect them, we will be bringing them out to you, where you have access to it as well. And we're seeing great results with that so far. So we're constantly learning, constantly tweaking, constantly improving, and that is that focused intensity, that focused effort over a long period of time you've got to do. You can't let things just ride. You get stuff where it seems like it's working okay, you still need to be making tweaks here and there to really perfect that process. Guys, you got to remember, great things take time to build. Egyptian pyramids took 20 years. Great Wall of China took 200. You're talking generations on that Great Wall of China to do something truly, truly great. Your business is probably going to take a minimum 5 years, 10 years maybe 20 years to really, really, really build something of great success. Hearing that camera just good. One great way to start improving your business right now is through the Workies software. You can check us out. We'll have the link, or check out the Workies. There is a link for a 14-day free trial in the description, or there will be if there is not yet. I see Aaron back there doing something, so he's probably adding that on. Workies is the greatest dispatch, invoicing, scheduling software that we have seen to date. constantly improving. Been in business. They've been in business since 2012. They're not extremely well known. I think they've just been kind of perfecting that product, working on that product, improving that product. They haven't gotten the word out about it as well as some other companies. We've compared it to House Call Pro. We've compared it to Vonago. We've compared it to Service Titan, other businesses out there. For the junk removal industry especially, we've yet to see anything as intuitive for the techs, as quick of an online booking process as we've ever seen, and then very, very, very simple and fast for the people answering the phone and booking jobs. Excellent, excellent, excellent service. Comparably priced to like a House Call Pro with more features, and I think it's an overall better system. Dave Ramsey has got a formula for entrepreneurial success that is focused intensity over time equals unstoppable momentum. I think you'll find a lot of entrepreneurs are great at intensity. They probably get about a third of this formula correct. What they miss is the focus part, and what they miss is the overtime part. Focused intensity over time equals unstoppable momentum. You got to have that time. You got to have that focus. So a lot of entrepreneurs miss this whole focus thing. They run off in a million different directions. So, for example, they start a junk removal business. Then they say, all right, I'm going to go out. Let's add in power washing. You know, I want to increase my revenues. So to increase my revenues, I'm just going to add even more services. Let's go into power washing. All right, let's go into moving. Okay, let's start a cleaning business. And what happens is now that focus where you were laser focused on one business at the start, that junk removal business, all of a sudden you're off in 4 different directions. And even though a junk removal business, especially when it comes to cleaning and moving, those are great upsell, cross-sell opportunities, you're still probably not going to make any one of those 3 businesses extremely successful without outside jobs coming in, unless you've got one business that's doing thousands and thousands and thousands of jobs, dealing with thousands and thousands of people every single year. So if you got a junk removal business, you got 10,000 customers that you're dealing with in a given market throughout the year. There's a good chance on those 10,000 customers, you can probably at least get a few hundred of them to try out your cleaning service. There is another way around this that you can do. Instead of going into these individual industries, if you want to increase your profit, which most people that they're thinking short term when they go into these multiple industries early on in their business, when they go off into multiple different directions, the reason they're doing that is because they haven't achieved the level of success they want in that short, unrealistic period of time that they were aiming for. So they just say, all right, if I just go into a bunch of different services, then people are going to come to me and it's going to work out great, and I'm going to get my income up in the short term. Instead of doing that, what you can do is you can form power partnerships with other business owners throughout your area. Find a power washer to work with. Find a moving company to work with, especially a moving company, a real estate agent. Real estate agents, as applies to this, can be a bit funny. Some real estate commissions won't allow what I'm about to talk about. But a dumpster rental company, a cleaning business. Find business owners and set up referral, or like we call them affiliate deals in the tech world, but referral or an affiliate deal where if you send business to them and book a job, they pay you X amount of dollars for that referral. You probably don't want to do a percentage. It's probably, all right, I'm going to send you this lead, treat it like Home Advisor. I'm going to send you this lead, pay me $50, and it's your job to have. And you actually become a salesperson for them. So what happens is if you are on the phone and you're scheduling a job, as that job wraps up, you ask that particular customer, hey, are you going to be in need of moving, power washing, cleaning service, or any other home type service in the foreseeable future? And if they say, yeah, we're about to move, or if they might have told you they were about to move, at that point you can say, hey, have you guys selected a moving company yet? And they say, no, we haven't. Well, I've got a great partner that's in the moving business. He believes in the same type of operating an ethical business as I do. He generally can get there fairly quick, very personable, nice guy, does good work, takes a lot of pride in his work. How about I pass your information over to him and have him reach out to you and see about coming out and get you a quote and potentially doing your moving job. And a lot of times people, if you present it like that, a lot of times people are like, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Let's do that. So And then what you do is you send it over to him, you get your $50, he takes over from there to get everything scheduled, and that $50 basically has no expense whatsoever other than maybe a little bit of increase in time if you're paying somebody to answer your phone. It's almost all to your bottom line. You don't have to shift your attention or your focus away from your core business. You keep it on your core business, but you add a little bit of extra service. You help out your customer more, and you increase the amount of income you get. The other advantage to doing this is what you're also doing is you're gathering data. And the data you are gathering is going to tell you after you have started your successful company or after you've gotten your company to successful, where it can run without you, and you're ready to go into another service. You've got data and information as to how many referrals, what type of business has led to the most referrals for you. That's the type of business you might get into. Chances are you're probably just going to build the referral end of things because you're like, damn, I'm getting all this extra money and all it is profit and there's no extra effort. So you still just might want to focus on building up your core business. And while you're building up your core business, what's also happening is the people you're sending business to, they're in turn, you can create a reverse deal where you're paying them for leads as well. So if they send you a junk removal lead, you pay them also, and before you know it, both of these businesses are supporting each other. So instead of you competing against them in a field that isn't your primary field that you're new at, you're competing against this established company. Instead, you're actually working together to drive up your junk removal business, and then to drive up your other, his business as well. So everybody wins in that type of situation. That's power partnering, and is an absolutely amazing way to work smarter rather than harder. Guys, we need to, we got any questions at all right now? So we're going to be wrapping here soon. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in comments so we can get to them. We will be wrapping up this episode probably in about the next 10 minutes or so. So if you have a question, a burning question or a comment, please leave it right now if you want it answered. Otherwise, we'll have to get to it on Tuesday. Emotional control is extremely huge in this business, both excitement and despair. There's a lot of people, they're really high energy, and they go from one end of the spectrum to the other. They're super excited. They're extremely happy with how things are going. They think all of a sudden, this one job they got is finally going to get them over the hump, and their business is going to blow up. And all the problems in the world are done. And what they do when that happens is they go out and they buy stuff they don't necessarily need, and they just are basically setting them up for when it slows down, when something bad happens, for a crash. Instead, when the good things happen, you want a little minor celebration. Say, all right, this is all right, but then you need to keep going at it. You need to keep your focus, because it's not always going to be that way. And when a problem occurs in your business, which it is going to occur in your business, then you also need to not let yourself get too far in the dumps. Just know this is going to pass. You're going to find a way through it. It's not going to drive you. You're going to survive. And if you keep that emotional control, that even keel, that's the mark of a professional. Mark of a professional is kind of emotional control when it comes to that stuff. And if you do that, your business is going to become even more successful. The people that work for you are going to have a business that they really enjoy working at more, and probably do a better job, and they know kind of a clear set of expectations as to what needs to get done. And you're going to be able to build up something valuable, and you're probably going to live longer too, as an added benefit. Those constant emotional rises take a toll on your body and your mind, so you want to really practice great emotional control while you're in business. You need to stay dedicated no matter how many or little jobs that are coming in. Guys, especially those of you who have this just started, we talk about being busy all the time. So you got to remember, we've been in business for years. These other companies that are really busy have been in business for years. There are very few exceptions. I do know of one. We've got a partner that is in an absolutely gangbusters market right from the beginning. He was extremely busy. But out of the, 8 or 10 business packages we've sold so far, he's the only one that has started out extremely busy. Everybody else starts out, and we've seen this in Greensboro and Charlotte. Everybody else starts out, you get a job here, a job there, and then all of a sudden, you notice you got 1 or 2 jobs a day going on. You're starting to feel a little better. And then 3-4 months down the road, you're looking and you're like, all right, man, I'm doing 3-4 jobs a day. I'm doing $1,500 a day. We're doing all right. This thing's going. That first month is tough. That first 2 months can be pretty tough. It's not uncommon your first month in junk removal. Like, for example, one of our partners, Very first month in junk removal, I think he did about $6,000, $7,000. I think it was 3 weeks. He did about $7,000 in 3 weeks. The next month he did about 14. The next month he did about 20. Then he did 25 the following month. And the next month was 30. And the next month was 40, something like that. So within 6 months, he built up this $35,000 or $40,000 business. But had he judged it on the first month or two, he was a little worried. So you got to really, really, really have emotional control. Understand that as long as you're getting jobs and doing a great job, and you're able to get the amount of your good full prices, then your company's going to grow. It's going to build. Everything right now when you first get in business is about getting as many customers as possible, getting in front of as many people as possible, converting as many of those people into customers as possible, and doing your best not to really worry about short-term profitability. If you're able to do that, then you're going to be approaching this business as an investment rather than a job. The guys out there worried about short-term profitability, and you're just getting in business, you've only been in business a year or two, you're not looking at your business as an investment. You're looking at it as a short-term deal. And I understand you got to get your bills paid, but you need to live as sparsely as possible, as tightly as possible, get your bills paid, and everything else reinvest back into your company, and this thing's going to build up and it's going to blow up. We got any final questions at all, Aaron? All right, guys. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and wrap. I guess I will touch on one more time. Junk Doctors of Charlotte, Junk Doctors of Greensboro. When we first started Charlotte back in 2013, we've been in business 1 year. We expanded too fast. And we got in business that first year, or that for about 2 months, and then we left. We were losing too much money. So, that Charlotte location when we first started, between paying a full-time guy, and paying Google ads, I think at the time all we were doing Google ads, we were doing some SEO too for that. We were losing $7,000, $8,000 every single month when we first went in there. And you have to understand at that point, Junk Doctors of Raleigh was probably only doing like $300,000, three to four. And of that, the profitability of it was 60 to 80. So it was we weren't able to withstand a $6,000-$7,000 a month loss in Charlotte, so we had to pull out of Charlotte. We came back to Raleigh and we really refocused in our efforts. It was another 2 years, 3 years until we went back into Charlotte. Within 2 months, that Charlotte location was profitable. Charlotte now, that would have been 2016 we went into it, so it's going on 3 years at this point. And it's on pace to do about $650,000 this year. Junk Doctors of Greensboro started out slow. The nice thing about Greensboro is it was cheaper for us to operate in, but it started off slow. It was a job every other day. We'd have the first month and a half we probably did average 5 jobs, 6 jobs a week. And then all of a sudden we started averaging 8 or 9 jobs a week. And then, then this thing was building up. So Junk Doctors of Greensboro, we're going on, I believe it'll be our second year in Greensboro. Right now, we're going on our second year. I think October will be our second year in Greensboro. Will be the completion of our second year in Greensboro. And Greensboro's on pace to do somewhere between 250, 300, around 300 this year. And it's profitable. It's as far as margins, it's one of the most profitable locations we have. So all of that took patience, and it took losing money, and it took dedication. It's easier once you've done it the first time, if you approached it the first time the exact same way you're approaching the second location. In our case, we hadn't. We had to bootstrap it when we first got started because we didn't have any extra money. And a lot of people, when they start that second location, they forget about all the time and effort that was put into building up their current location before they go into the second area. And when you go into the second area, you're going to start spending as much money as you're currently spending in your current area. It's just not going to take off as fast as you guys want it. So you really have to add in that time. Focused intensity over time equals unstoppable momentum. Check out our JRA call center for those of you guys that really want to get more jobs booked. You don't want to be a slave to your telephone and have to answer it at every moment, no matter what you're doing at any given time. It's open Monday through Saturday at the moment from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be adding Sundays here soon. Everybody, I don't know, we're working with maybe 6 companies in the call center or so right now. Every single one of them is extremely happy with it. And guys, it's $19 per book job. Just raise your damn prices, $19 on average. That's all you gotta do. It's basically free. The call center is free throw in a price increase. Whatever price increase you're going to put in, we're going to be able to book the jobs at a higher rate anyway. So you're going to book more jobs. Customers aren't going to care as much about pricing. We're going to nail them down on your schedule. You're going to go out there, you're going to do the job, you're going to make more money. You're going to actually make money. By doing the JRA Call Center, you're going to make more money and free up your schedule and free up your life than answering those daggone calls yourself. And if you don't believe me, try us out. Give us, try us out for a few months. We'll prove it to you. 919-617-1975. This has been Making Hay with JRA, Thursday's edition. We will be back on Tuesday at 12 noon Eastern. Again, I am Lee Godbold. Let us know whatever we can do to help you succeed in your junk removal business. We're here for you. Check us out at JRA.com. We'll see everybody.